You need to try and pick off the units as. Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the ball is gonna take him!
Hello, hello, Day 9 here, bringing you Game 2 between Imba Strelok and Mousesports ThorZaIN here in the lower round of IPL Season 2. The map is going to be Xel'Naga Caverns with Mousesports ThorZaIN spawning in the top right position as the red Terran, currently up 1-0 versus Imba Strelok, who is the blue Terran, down in the bottom left. And interestingly, we have a third contender in this game. It is Computer 3. Thank God it is not my arch nemesis Player 2. But of course the Computer 3 is there to do a little bit of cloaking action. That is right, this map hides replay results. So for any of you trying to spy on their match history, you'd get an error. Thanks, Computer 3. We do see ThorZaIN again going for that early wall off. Often players are reluctant to plant the early wall off just due to the fact that it can be a vulnerability to some types of early aggression, where a player might need to pull his units back to make an arc here to defend against the attack. But if there is a supply depot here, it's free damage for the opponent. But again, ThorZaIN, the master of preparation, well known for having good responses to deal with this. One of the best ones is just big aggression. If I'm attacking you, I don't need to worry about you attacking me. One SCV now heading his way out. Since it is Xel'Naga Caverns, we do see that early expands are quite common, but there's the gas geyser going down now for Imba Strelok. And oh, a 2 barracks play from ThorZaIN. I love this opening in Terran vs. Terran. It's extremely aggressive. You can do a lot of damage with it. And one of my favorite aspects of it is that it is hard to get a good read on what your opponent is doing. The only real way to do it is to do SCV counting. If Strelok gets into his opponent's base, what's he going to see? He's going to see 1 barracks, no gas, and a fast orbital command. But if he is wise and counts his SCVs, he's going to realize there's only 12 SCVs here. Something's wrong, something's amiss. That's because one is hiding up here in the top position. And will Strelok be prepared in time? There's the gas geyser going down right now for Strelok. You see the orbital command popping up. 1 Marine moving out, and where's the rally point? Is hidden back behind the mineral patch. ThorZaIN trying to do some scouting, making sure that the SCV both doesn't get up into the main to make it look a little normal, but more importantly, doesn't end up spotting that early barracks. And oh no, Strelok is not going to be able to see the barracks hidden up at the north. No SCV counting is possible. We're now seeing why this was a smart play from ThorZaIN. So hard to count SCVs when you can't get over to the SCVs. In the meantime, though, we do see Strelok now getting up a barracks. A Reaper popping down. Oh, no! Strelok could be in so much trouble. Is getting the early second gas. Again, one of my favorite openings is Fast Reaper into Fast Second Geyser, but this is still going to be a very close call coming up for Strelok. ThorZaIN now on the map has 5 Marines. Computer 6 SCVs. Where are they? My God, they're not even on the map. These are Special Spirit SCVs. We can see Strelok has not yet taken a gas geyser. We see that he's still making Marines 2 at a time, and we see that he has 7 out at this point in time.
SCV ready.
In the meantime, we do see that there's a very, very fast starport popping out. Looks like Marine and Hellion production can begin for Imba Strelok. He does have 1 Reaper out, and it is going to get a great revelation. It looks like... will he see the Marines? Oh, did ThorZaIN really get out of there in time? Oh, just barely sneaking his way over. And once the Expo is revealed, ThorZaIN can do a lot of damage there. He is moving forward with this gigantic force of 7 Marines. He's up against 1, and because 7 is oftentimes greater than 1, this is going to be very difficult for Strelok. He is not able to hold that. And we see the Banshee popping out right now, and suddenly Strelok is on the verge of losing to an early Marine attack right here. ThorZaIN getting surrounded by SCVs in the units lost tab. We see huge numbers getting taken out. Workers just falling left and right. So many down in deep red. 2 more fall just there. We see the Reaper trying to pop up into the main, and it looks like with some very smart target firing, he's able to pick off 1 weakened in red in the unit counting station. My God. Even Computer 3 has almost as many SCVs as Imba Strelok. ThorZaIN is taking himself his natural expansion, getting those extra 2 geysers, and uncharacteristically high money for ThorZaIN, getting it quite high up in the 600s. Now adding on a factory would behoove him to add on more barracks as well, and there goes down 1 as he establishes his expo. More Marines advancing forthward, and we see, does Imba Strelok have cloak? No, it's just a Banshee, and in fact no cloak has even been started. He may have had intentions to get that cloak up and running, but I mean, with this much pressure coming in at this front door, has been almost no opportunity. There goes down the Reaper, one of his big lines of defense against these Marines, and once again, Strelok having to pull off all his SCVs. ThorZaIN being just brilliant with the timing of these Marines, and Strelok, for all his clever openings and all the damage he is doing with these Banshees, I don't know if it's going to be enough, but actually, wait a minute, there's actually no defense here for ThorZaIN. He may very well lose a lot more SCVs. It looks like finally in the main another Banshee arrives to clean up a bit. And ThorZaIN suddenly is the one dealing with a lot of SCV damage. We see only 8 SCVs out, but oh my gosh, no units are even alive right now for ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN in a ton of trouble just due to this Banshee. Look at that, 15 kills. What is this, a Banshee from SC2 Beta? It's at 17 kills, 18 kills. Captain Banshee looking to level up in just a moment with these 2 Banshees joining forces together. I honestly think that Strelok might have the beginnings of a comeback if he can control this properly. There's more Banshees being produced. No, is he going to lose it? And he does lose it. A key miscontrol by Strelok. Now moving forward with his 1 Banshee. He needs to control this well. If he can do that properly, he can take out these Marines, continue to put pressure, but no, he loses it. And we see that Strelok, despite all that damage, is still at half the SCV count of his opponent. Making another Banshee. It looks like he is not investing in cloaks. Strelok in a rough spot. And oh my gosh, look at this. We can even see that key control misstep. He is actually not landing the factory on the tech lab. That is a mistake that is generally a sign of the tournament jitters, the competition. Can put so much adrenaline in your system, and you can lose so much focus after an early attack like that you can make mistakes you would ordinarily never ever make. And indeed, it looks like Strelok going to be going for the all-in play, going to be going for the "Oh pray please" one-time style. If I can just get some Blue Flame Hellions in there to line up those SCVs and rip them through, then I can maybe have the beginnings of a comeback. But it's still going to be a big uphill battle for Strelok. But we've seen Strelok do this before. For all this fancy craziness that Strelok is known to do nowadays, he used to be better known for how standard he could play so well. And as a result, he's actually had some incredible comebacks with his solid fundamentals. But with this Viking Hellion push, this could be big problems right now. We see a good fire right there by that Banshee, picking off that 1 Hellion. A lot of Marines out on the street, on the streets of Xel'Naga for ThorZaIN. The streets of Xel'Naga aplenty with the Marines of ThorZaIN. And there we see the Hellions trying to get into a good position. The Banshee from Strelok also trying to do some good micro action. He needs to be very careful, though. He's trying to target fire properly, but then the Viking is going to be able to take out the Banshee, and suddenly, again, ThorZaIN has 6 to 7 Marines, and there's no defense alive for Strelok. He is just begging to have that Blue Flame pop down, and if ThorZaIN is actually over-aggressive and loses these Marines, then the Blue Flame Hellions could actually put in a bigger threat. And look at this, ThorZaIN landing the Vikings, though. The landed Vikings can easily pick off these Hellions, and as it turns out, the Marines can easily pick off the Hellions themselves. And sadly, this attempt from Strelok to try to make the comeback with the Blue Flame Hellions is going to be in a lot more despair because the strat has been completely revealed. There's the roasting going on. Everything is just in a lot of trouble for our Blue Terran player, Strelok. Down 0-1, might be on the verge of going down 0-2. You see the Viking now landing for Strelok, trying to get any defense that he can up. And again, ThorZaIN, with every advantage he gets, he's just going to take more and more expansions. We saw him do this last game, now doing it again this game, getting the double Tech Lab add-on so we can even begin getting the Combat Shield and Stim for a faster 3rd big push coming up. Even getting, it looks like, no, Marauder is one of the big reasons he's also getting these Tech Labs. Trying to make sure he doesn't lose to any Blue Flame shenanigans, and there, the surround from the SCVs does manage to successfully repair the Hellion, and Strelok even losing that as well. Strelok on the ropes. 1 Hellion, 2 Vikings, 1 Marine. Strelok now just going for the big Blue Flame Hellion transition, getting, oh look at this, a factory and another reactor on it. could be giving this reactor to the starport to get a lot of Vikings, but might just be going for mass Blue Flame Hellion, praying that there's some way he can rip through those Marines and all of those SCVs. And in the ThorZaIN scouting front, it looks like he is well aware that there's a second factory down there, getting those Marauders with a concussive shell to make sure he can deal with any sort of mech play by Strelok. And interestingly, mech is going to be perhaps a good way for Strelok to come back in even without the Blue Flame Hellions. If he can just get a big enough lead in the tank front, we've seen Strelok do great things in terms of just getting good defensive positioning up, getting the good stranglehold down on the map. ThorZaIN, though, making sure those Blue Flame Hellions are going to have a lot of hurdles to cross, walling off this right side. The main is walled off as well. The back is walled off with an engineering bay. And ThorZaIN, as if it wasn't hard enough for Strelok, ThorZaIN is going to move in with another big push, scans, sees that the bunker has hardly anything in it. It is going to be Blue Flame Hellions against Marauder tank. SCV's now popping into the fray. The Vikings are going to lay and get one-shotted by that pack of Marauders. Now the Blue Flame Hellions continue to try to do as much damage that they can, but all the SCVs are now essentially dead for Strelok, and the units just keep coming to red trickle through the map, and it looks like ThorZaIN wins another solid game against Strelok, bringing the count to 2 for ThorZaIN and 0 for Strelok. Let's pop into Game 3 to see if ThorZaIN can bring this lead to 3-0.